Insurance is becoming a hot topic in the news. Find out what you need to do to make sure your home's prepared next on Inside St. Lucie. Hello and welcome to this edition of Inside St. Lucie, SLC TV's monthly government affairs show. I'm your host, Eric Gill, Communications Director for St. Lucie County. And on today's show, we're going to talk about property insurance and homeowners insurance. Here with my guest, David Wilbur with Florida Smart Insurance, who was asked to come on the show by St. Lucie County Commission Chair Kathy Townsend. But before we meet our guest, here's some upcoming events and announcements from the Board of County Commissioners. The New York Mets spring training season is in full swing in Port St. Lucie. The Mets will play 15 home games at Clover Park, including 5 night games through March 24th. For tickets and details, visit stluciemets.com. St. Lucie County's 20th Annual Earth Day Festival takes place on Saturday, April 20th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Oxbow Eco Center, located at 5400 Northeast St. James Drive in Port St. Lucie. This free event features more than 70 community partners, live music, environmental education, wildlife exhibits, and more. For more details, visit stlucieearthday.com. St. Lucie County's Public Safety Department will host an inaugural Community Preparedness Day on Saturday, May 4th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Haverdale Fen Center located at 2000 Virginia Avenue in Fort Pierce. This free family-friendly event will feature various county departments to help children and adults be better prepared for disasters. Now for the latest updates about all St. Lucie County Commission meetings, workshops, and events, be sure to visit our website at stlucieco.gov and click on our comprehensive calendar. If you'd like to be added to our press release distribution list, you can send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org and we'll be happy to include you. We're also on all the social media platforms at St. Lucie GOV, so we hope you'll follow us there. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check in with the latest economic development stats with another St. Lucie Works. St. Lucie County's tourism revenue decreased by 4% in December compared to the same time frame a year ago. Overall building activity in unincorporated St. Lucie County decreased by 15% in December, with 1,142 permits submitted compared to November's 1,346 permits. According to the Florida Realtors Association, the median home sale price in St. Lucie County in December was $389,995, roughly 2% higher than it was a year ago, while condo values increased by 6%, with the median price at $320,000. St. Lucie County's unemployment rate remains similar to the prior 3 months, with December coming in at 3.5% compared to November's 3.4%. Statewide, the unemployment rate was 3%. The largest increase in the labor force on the Treasure Coast was in education and health services, followed by professional business services, and then leisure and hospitality. According to CareerSource, there were roughly 4,400 more jobs in our area, a 1.9% increase compared to last year. If you work for a local business looking for skilled or trained labor, be sure to contact the staff at CareerSource as they can assist your company with its recruitment and training needs. And if you're an individual looking for a job, they can help you as well. Visit the CareerSource online at careersourcerc.com or call 1-866-4U2-HIRE. Welcome back to Inside St. Lucie. I'm your host, Eric Gill. And normally I'm joined by a commissioner. And this month, unfortunately, Commissioner Kathy Townsend, our board chair, couldn't make it. We had some scheduling conflicts, but she wanted me to have on David Wilbur with Florida Smart Insurance.
Thank you very much.
I got that name right?
Privileged to be here. You did.
Thanks again for coming on the show today to talk a little bit about homeowners insurance. It certainly is a topic. I know the board and the county hears a lot from residents about the skyrocketing cost of insurance. And unfortunately, there's not a lot the Board of County Commissioners can do to control that, right? I mean, you don't have to defend them.
Not at the county level, but they've done a good job of doing many things to hold down insurance rates. Flood insurance is one of them. We have a nice credit in this community, and also in the fire protection area have a nice credit. So the community has some very nice credits that are optional, but we have them in this county from both fire and flood. So the commissioners have done things, along with the fire board, to hold down costs. But homeowners insurance itself, no.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to, I know the board recently went from a community FEMA evaluation, like you said, for flood insurance and a CRS, and we went from a 6 to a 5. So hopefully that takes effect in October and residents could see some decreases and savings in there, but you need to talk to your insurer. Everybody's different. And you mentioned the fire district too, and theirs is called the ISO, right?
Insurance Services Office is the one that evaluates them.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's based on, like you said, equipment, number of personnel, fire hydrants, things like that. Right?
Correct.
And then again, if they score well on that, then it lets insurers know the risk isn't as bad in that community, so you don't have to pay as high a premium.
Correct.
Right?
It's
Yeah,
a credit.
look at that.
Helps very much.
Yeah. Now, what is driving, because I've turned on the news or read the papers, insurance costs are going up, not just, focused on property, but car insurance, everything in Florida. Car
It
insurance
is.
is whole separate reasons. But what do you think is driving the cost of insurance up in Florida?
Well, let me answer your question for both auto and home for just a moment, and it's inflation. That is a huge driver of cost, both for auto repair, which are way up, and also house repairs, which are way up. We know that. We know when we go to the local big box stores for home repairs, we know that those costs are up, and it's true. So that alone is the reason that both auto and home are both going up. But let's talk about homeowners insurance, because that's really unique to Florida. We have something in common with a couple of other states, California to name one, that have very high homeowners insurance, but it's because of the catastrophic risk that we face. We're seeing that right now in California. They're having a lot of tough weather out there,
Wildfires and
including wildfires,
Yeah.
yes. And Florida, of course, has hurricanes. And they don't happen often, thank goodness, but when they do, they can really do some damage. And Eric, let me just cover a couple fast things that are affecting what our homeowners rates are, and why is it more now than it used to be?
Sure.
10 years ago, wasn't this at this level? Why now? A couple of things. One of them is the catastrophic losses that are occurring. I grew up in South Florida, and I remember hurricanes, including when I was going to school, and there was nothing like the damage we're seeing now. The damage was not as serious then as it was now. We only got off about 3 days of school. So, that, we were all hoping for more than that, but that's all we got off because that's all the damage there was. School's back in business, homes repaired, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Not now. Now is significantly more damage. Back in the '04 storms, schools were closed 30 days after hurricanes. You had blue roofs. You couldn't get your home repaired for months. Big difference between that and the multiple years ago that I was in elementary school in Southwest Florida. So that's part of it, the seriousness of the damage and the frequency, it's up.
Yeah.
So that combined, and there's a couple other things that are driving it, and one of them is the legal issues surrounding home insurance have become more problematic. Let me give you just two good examples. We have too many lawsuits in Florida.
I agree.
We have way more lawsuits per homeowner's claim than any other state, even California.
Wow. Which is a bigger population.
Per claim, way more lawsuits. And here's one of the reasons why. We have one-way attorney's fees, which means if you need to sue your insurance company, win or lose, the insurance company pays both attorneys, win or lose. So that's an incentive for the attorneys to, no matter what, is to file a lawsuit. And they'll probably get a settlement because if insurance companies have a clock ticking on legal fees.
Sure.
So hopefully, and that's part of the issue. That has been on the books many years, but over the past 10 years has become a problem. So one-way legal fees, that has been addressed by the legislature, both in 22 and 23, and it was a tough decision to make politically. But thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Legislator. That has made a huge difference, and that is helping bring down the cost. So one-way attorney fees still exist, but only for a specific set of circumstances. Another issue, and this is the last one I'll mention, but it's assignment of benefits, Eric. That has also been in the books for many years, and it also has been fine for many years until about 10 years ago, and now it's become a real serious issue. That is a contractual agreement when the contractor or emergency repair firm comes to your home and says, sign here, I'll take care of the claim. And it's kind of attractive to think, well, I just have to sign a little form here and I'm all good to go and they'll handle everything. Yes, we'll deal with the insurance company. Well, not all the time, but too many times. The dealing with insurance companies means that you submit very expensive repair bills. And the insurance company says, I don't think I want to pay that hour repair bill. I know it can be done for less.
Sure.
And then file suit, and there's attorney firms in Florida that are specialized in that. And then if there's still a problem collecting the insurance company, which there probably still is because the bill's too high,
Sure.
now we bring out the big club called bad faith. Now, that's probably a term that most people aren't familiar with, but insurance companies are. And bad faith has also been on the books for many years that says if you won't deal in good faith with the policyholder to settle a claim, you are liable for unlimited amounts depending on what happened. It could be millions of dollars. So when that lawsuit is filed, now we have a decision to make in the insurance industry. What do you do about that? Because if you lose a bad faith claim, it could be in the millions of dollars. The legal system is well aware of what bad faith is. So insurance companies are forced to pay claims that they want to pay, but not an exorbitant amount. But sometimes they end up with the exorbitant amount because there's no other fiscal way to handle it. Well, that has actually put a lot of insurance companies in Florida in bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And we're all being assessed for it. If I can just ask a little homework assignment, if I may, when you go home, look at your auto or home policy for our commercial customers. Look at your commercial policies right on the declarations page toward the bottom. It's going to be an assessment from FIGA. It's on all of them. It's on mine, it's on yours,
Sure.
it's on everybody's. And what that is, Florida Insurance Guarantee Association, kind of like FDIC for banks, that if the FDIC runs out of money, they just write the letter to the banks and say, send us another check. Well, in the case of FIGA, they do assess insurance companies who then pay a certain amount, but if they have an emergency assessment, which they do now, that emergency assessment they get to recoup from their policyholders. That's what's happening, and you're getting that recoupment of assessment on your own policy. Whether you've had a claim or not, it's on there.
Yeah.
Could be commercial auto, it could be workers' compensation, it's on there. So we've had too many lawsuits and too many abilities to submit claims that are too much.
Yeah.
And it's hard for insurance companies to resist them. The legislature has addressed that. It is much harder now, more restrictive to be able to do all of the things I just mentioned. So there's good news.
Yeah.
It's getting better.
Good to hear. Now, if I heard stats recently. There's 1,000 new people moving to Florida every day. I think
every day. 1,000,
so not here in St. Lucie County, hopefully, but not that we don't welcome you, but that's a lot of people moving to one state. And like you said, we have different circumstances than other states. Whether it's New Jersey or Michigan, they don't have the flash flooding. They can, but not as much as we do with the hurricanes, tropical storms, wildfires. Heck, we even had an earthquake recently offshore off Canaveral.
No damage, I understand.
But you never know. So what recommendations do you have for folks, new homeowners? Because do I need flood insurance? And I know from a public safety standpoint, we always encourage people, even if you're not in a flood zone, you may want to consider flood insurance, right?
100%.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you asked that question. If I may, let me just provide a couple of points. If you were and I were chatting and you're a new person moving to Florida and you're purchasing a home, here's what I'd say. Let me take flood insurance first. Even if you're not in a high hazard flood zone, think about purchasing flood insurance anyway, just using your good judgment. Am I near a big canal that could overflow? Am I near a retention pond in my community that could overflow in heavy rains? If you are, then you probably ought to consider purchasing flood insurance. It is less expensive if you're not in a high hazard zone.
Yep.
And what you just mentioned at the beginning was we're going to get a little more of a credit, a community credit, thanks to the county doing a good job. FEMA agrees with that. We're getting a little more credit than other counties would get because of the good job the county's done with flood education, et cetera. So don't automatically dismiss flood insurance. Use your good judgment on whether you need that or not. You might. Flood is if that gets in the house, it's going to be one big mess because it's not going to be the water coming out of the tap, right?
No,
it's going to have silt in it. It's not going to be nice water.
And once it comes up the drywall, it's not,
it hits the drywall. And where's all the appliance motors? On the bottom.
Yeah. So
all of that's ruined. So think about flood insurance. Okay, let's talk about homeowners insurance. And I think this is going to be a good suggestion from now, as far as I can see into the future, and that is make your home attractive to insurance companies to insure. That is just like you were going to get a home mortgage, you try to arrange your finances to make it attractive to a bank to make you a loan. Kind of the same thing here. What kinds of things could you do? Well, you're going to need a relatively new roof, something 20 years or less, unless it happens to be metal.
Yeah.
So if you're buying a home and you have a 20-year-old roof on that home that you're buying, you got to take that in consideration when you're making an offer, because you're probably going to be in the roof repair business, replacement business before too long.
Yeah.
So another thing is pay attention to what kind of loss control measures you can take care of yourself. Let me just mention one. There's quite a few. I'll just mention one.
Sure.
Water is the #1 claim in Florida other than hurricanes. And I don't mean water coming in from a hurricane. I mean water from a leaking washing
Pipe,
machine hose, an overflowing bathtub. And if you happen to be gone when that washing machine line breaks, it is not only going to make a mess of the house, it's going to be very expensive to repair it. Do the kinds of things that will control risk, because we're all in the risk control business one way or the other, and that is a good thing to do, help you hold down on your homeowner's insurance costs. Can I mention one more thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
NOAA says, and I looked up the statistics before I came, about when people move to Florida, about 1,000 people a day, 76% of us live in high-risk coastal areas. We all want to live near the water. I do. I don't live on the beach, but I'd like to.
Yeah.
But that's my risk control measure, is I don't live on the beach, because I need to be in a position to respond to insurance claims. So my house needs, I hope, to be able to withstand a hurricane so I can operate, have a place to sleep, get a sandwich, and go
Sure.
back to work the next day when hurricanes come, and they come. So we're exposed to a lot of wind.
Mm-hmm.
If you're very close to the ocean, you've seen what high winds do. They erode the beach. So use that kind of risk control measures. Do a little more if you're on the beach. Maybe you want a metal roof.
Yeah, yeah. And now I'm thinking about that too. Even people in their western town that may, I live right back up this nature preserve. Well, what happens when a lightning strike hits and potential for wildfire? Do you have enough buffer around the home, sort of fire breaks and things like that? You were probably here in '98 when we had the wildfires in Port St. Lucie.
Yeah, 40 homes burned down. They didn't have water there. Remember, that
Yep.
was the problem.
Yep.
They didn't have they do now.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
back
Again,
then,
that's
they
the
didn't
fire
have enough
district rating,
water,
yeah.
and that was out of control. And yes, you need a fire break between you and the local shrubbery. And California's learned that the hard way.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yes.
And we do have a high number of lightning strikes in the state, surprisingly. Everybody thinks of rain as Pacific Northwest and Seattle, but we get our fair share of water in Florida.
The fire service will tell you we get a lot of fires that start from lightning strikes, including thunderstorms. It's raining and it's lightning, and fire starts anyway, rain or not.
And even this winter, we've had an unusually wet winter with some severe weather. Some tornadoes even touched down recently in Martin County, So it's that risk reward, right? Everybody wants to live in Florida, but there are some dangers that go along with it.
Do what you can to control
Mitigate it,
risk.
yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, as we get into hurricane season, things people should do to make sure they're prepared. Obviously, have your copy of your policy and know what your deductible is. Videos, photos of your property before season starts, right? So you have an
Great
updated.
idea.
Yep.
The state of Florida has an emergency planning website. It's a great resource. One of the first things they say is have a plan.
Yep.
What are you going to do? You're going to go, you're going to stay. Depends on how bad the storm is. But there's a lot of good stories out there about people thought the storm was going to go one place and went another. So it's kind of tough. If you're planning to leave, be advised you're not going to like the traffic. The traffic's going to be awesome, including where you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep, gasoline, all of that. So think that through if you're planning to leave, of how that might work.
Yeah, we have been trying to remind people through public safety, leave tens of miles, not hundreds of miles. If you have friends west of town that you can stay with, or,
Right.
in a neighboring county, do that if you need to get off the Barrier Island or low-lying areas. But like you said, when you're trying to get to Orlando and then you're stuck on Turnpike or 95 and you're running out of gas and all the pumps are empty, and you don't want to put yourself in harm's way trying to get out of harm's way.
Correct. There's a lot of stories about that too, that they're on 95 in traffic and here comes the hurricane. So if you're thinking about leaving, do plan it through. But if I can go back to an earlier risk control comment, our homes need to withstand hurricanes because we're going to have to live in those homes after the hurricane unless we've left, because there's not going to be any place to go.
Yeah.
Well, because if people are going to be moving out of their homes that are damaged in the motel rooms, they're going to go pretty quickly. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So hopefully your home will sustain you even without electricity and water. It's still a place to get a sandwich and be able to get a little sleep and be ready for the next day.
Yeah.
So do what you can to have your home withstand hurricanes, regardless of the insurance issue.
Yeah.
You're going to need to stay there after a hurricane. It's going to be real tough to find a place if your home is damaged and you can't live there.
Yeah, I mean, a great example of that, I was here in 2004. I was in the tourism office, and we lost about 30% of our hotel rooms. You know, the hotels were damaged, but yet, if you look at the hotel numbers in 04 and 05, there's a huge spike because, like you said, a lot of local residents were renting Airbnbs, staying in hotels, while you had contractors in, FEMA and everybody else coming in, taking up all those available temporary rental spaces where the residents couldn't. And although I think since the pandemic, a lot more people have RVs they can stay in their yard now. I've seen a lot more.
Well, if they're still there, and
if they're still there, they haven't blown over. Yeah.
Yes, that'll be good. But I've thought about that. Just go rent an RV and put it in your driveway. That you may have to do that. That's okay. That's not a bad plan.
Yeah.
Think about that. And there's a lot of RVs around. You've been up and down 95.
There's a few
There's
new
a lot
Camping
of
World
RVs
and other
there.
places like that. Yeah, absolutely. We thought about it during the pandemic. Well, if one of us gets sick, I isolate in the RV in the yard.
That would work. May I mention?
My wife just made me sleep in a tent. So.
Well, remember it's going to be pretty hot.
Yeah, it's
right.
true.
So it's going to be September or August, and it's going to
Yes.
be pretty hot. Let me mention one thing Commissioner Townsend and I have talked about, and it's a good suggestion, but there's a lot of caveats that go to it, and that is, if you don't have a mortgage, what about buying your homeowner's insurance, but not including wind? So you sign a form required by the state of Florida that says, I don't want windstorm insurance. That's going to cut the price about in half.
Wow.
Maybe more than half, because that's where all the money is. It's in the windstorm. So if you do that, let's just talk about that for a moment. If you're even considering that, and that could be a commercial building or it could be your home, let's talk about what you need to think about before you do that. And here's a quick list. We're going to save money. What are we going to do with the savings? We need to have a savings account, because one day we may need to be able to write a pretty big check to start the repair process. So that'd be my first thought. Put the money in a savings account, get the interest on it, and keep it there, and except if something really emergency-wise, don't use that money, because the day may come when you need it. And remember, contractors don't start work without a check. So if you're going to get your home repaired, you're going to have to be able to write a pretty big check to get the process started, and it's going to be pretty expensive to repair, because we already talked about what inflation impact has had on that. And you probably, and I don't know if you've thought about this, but I thought it through, and let me just mention it, and that is, you probably won't be able to get a loan at that point. So if you're thinking, well, I could go out and get a loan to repair, probably you can't. Here's why.
You don't have the equity, right?
When you go to the bank to get a loan, what are they going to ask you for? Insurance. But are you going to be able to get insurance? And the answer to that is probably not. Why not? Because your home's damaged.
Yeah.
Even citizens will not insure homes that have damage currently. So the thought that I'll just get a bank loan, if they're going to require insurance, you're not going to get a bank loan, because they're going to want insurance, and there's not going to be anybody to insure a damaged home. So there's and that's true for commercial buildings too. So kind of think about that a little bit. Make sure you're able to pay that damage figure, whatever that is. That's the check you need to be able to write. And if so, you can save a lot of money. I know people that have.
Yeah.
But we don't know what June brings. So if we're lucky, we get to put the money in the bank. If we're not, we get to write the check.
Yeah. Now, the legislature's still in session now. They'll be finishing up, well, as we're taping, they'll be finishing up, by the time this airs halfway through the month. But I did see they were talking about setting aside, I think, a couple $100 million to create a fund where Floridians and homeowners can help harden their homes. Because, again, we talked about earlier, right? It's that risk reward.
Yes.
Older homes, folks with older roofs have trouble getting insurance, or you have to replace the roof. So I think the state's looking at doing some type of grant program for Floridians. I don't know if you've seen any.
I have
details on
my
that?
Safe Florida Home. It's a wonderful program, and
'Cause I need new windows. So.
They're really well. You might want to apply.
I plan to.
It's a wonderful program, and it all has to do with reducing risk. So anything that we can do and any kind of grant we can get to help reduce risk, that is a wonderful thing. So there's quite a few things you can do. There's other things you can do on the roof, which are kind of a little bit technical in order to secure the roof to the home. We don't want our roofs flying off. That's the last thing we want. There are other things you can do that's probably too technical to get into here, but that could be done. There are contractors who know about that. It might say Florida Home would help you do that. Older windows, if they're really old, are really not very secure. There's been some cheap windows put in homes, and there's a lot better storm-proof windows out there. We've seen them, boy, do consider that.
Yeah.
That would be something. So risk control is really a major thing that we can do as homeowners to hold our costs down.
Yeah, and it'd be great if the state has some money to help residents.
And the state, right. They have grants there, and they actually have had that program and ran out of money.
Oh, okay.
So this legislative session, they're putting a lot more money in. It's a wonderful idea. Hope people will check it out.
Yeah. Well, David, is there anything else we didn't? I mean, we could talk. You're very knowledgeable on this subject. I'm sure we could sit here for hours and give some tips. But anything you want to remind homeowners before we wrap up the show?
Eric, we've done a good job of covering the basics. If I could just repeat what we've said a couple of times, because it's good to keep this in mind. And businesses, let me take businesses as an example. They do all kinds of things to control risk. They put down mats when it's raining so you don't fall down when you walk in the door. They put in fire sprinklers in the building for a larger building. So if a fire does start, it'll be able to be controlled until the fire department gets there. That's all risk control. Mm-hmm. Let's, you and me and everybody that owns a home in Florida do the same thing. What kinds of things, can we shut off the water when we leave on 2-week vacation so we don't have that water damage risk? There are various things like that we can do. We can ask our insurance agent, we can ask our home inspectors who do those windstorm mitigation inspections. What can I do? And if it's reasonable cost, consider doing it. We want our homes to be there even after the hurricane so we can live there until they turn the electricity back on and we can continue our lives back to normal.
Yeah. Well, David, again, thank you so much for taking the time and coming on today.
Privilege to be here. Thank you again, Eric.
We're going to wrap up the show. Before we do, we're going to check in with another project update with our Public Works Department.
The Public Works Department continues to serve the citizens of St. Lucie County with a solid, dependable infrastructure program. The Midway Road and Indian River Drive resurfacing project included milling and installing 2 inches of asphalt at the intersection, installing an asphalt curb, and installing pavement markings. The project improves the driving surface for motorists and reduces the frequency and cost of maintenance. The addition of the curb reduces the amount of sand entering the roadway and protects the asphalt along the radius at the intersection. For more information about St. Lucie County infrastructure projects, visit stlucieco.gov.
We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Inside St. Lucie, and we hope you'll tune in again next month. If you have topics or subjects you'd like to see covered on the program relating to St. Lucie County government, give us a call at 772-462-1791 or send us an email at pio@stlucieco.org. And if you'd like to see previously aired episodes of this or other SLC TV programs, visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/stluciegov. I'm Eric Gill, Communications Director for St. Lucie County. For myself and staff, thanks for watching.